All right, everybody. Hi, I am Lauren. I am your instructor for Introduction to Microbiology. I know I don't look particularly fancy right here. I'm well aware of that. I have some sort of weird, I don't know, COVID or something. I don't know what it is. I test negative, but you know how that is. So, like the line might be there. I don't know. I don't know. I'm sick with something and it's bad. And we got this ice thing coming in that's happening right now. Let's get through. I want to give you guys a little bit of a rundown of what to expect from this course. And so that you're not left in the dark, I'm going to open up this course. Of course, by the time you see this, it'll already be open. But I want you to have something to work from so you know what to expect and what is going on with the Canvas thing. So let's share. Okay. So I have this set up right now on Canvas as a student. Oh, by the way, my name is Lauren Yost. You can call me Professor Yost. You can call me Lauren or Mrs. Yost or whatever. Not doctor. If you do call me doctor, I'm not going to punch you in the face or something. It's just I'm not. I have a master's degree. I did get my master's degree from an Ivy League school. Isn't that fancy? But I dropped out for my first husband. He told me that, you know, his dreams were more important than mine. And so here I am now. I have worked quite a bit in industry, such as testing for the Transplant Institute at Baptist. I've done work with testing for DLO in Southwest Integris. I've worked in food testing companies. And I've taught. So kind of been all over the place. And that experience makes me pretty good with the practical side of microbiology. Unfortunately, this is a majors course. I'm required to teach it as a majors course. That is not my decision. If you dislike that concept and find this course to be too difficult for you, please go complain to your advisor. I don't get a say over that. I have to provide this course as a majors course so that it can transfer to any other institution in the state. We have meetings about that stuff, and I know that this is a lot for you guys, and you'll see what I mean. If you don't know, you'll see. So it's a pretty rigorous course. The number one pitfall that I have had with students that they have admitted to, and this isn't me judging, that they have admitted to not studying enough. This is a course that will come up on you, and you'll realize suddenly that you didn't study enough after you've taken the test. Or you'll study, but not well enough. Like you'll think flashcards suffice, and then you'll go take the test, and then you'll see what questions you got wrong. And and you'll see, oh, I should have known that. And it won't be, it'll just be a matter of studying effectively. So study, most people will come and say, I should have studied more. That's literally the number one complaint about it. Number two, study effectively. And I do have some tips for you on Canvas, and also if you want to come talk to me about how to study better anytime throughout the entire semester or in any other course that you're in, I'd be more than happy to sit down with you about that. Come by my office. I'm always around during my office hours when I'm not teaching. I'm in my office. I'm usually hanging around. So you can always email me as well. I usually answer within about 30 minutes. I don't have any kids. It's just me and my husband, who's usually asleep. And then my dogs. I have 3 of them. Just so you know, they're all Chihuahua mixes. One of them's a little tan one named Ripley, and then 2 little black ones that are like Chihuahua Whippet mixes, I guess. That's Spaghetti and Meatball. So yeah, that's what's in my life. And this is my office at home, and this is my gaming computer, and my husband's gaming computer is over there. And you can see the big TV back here. We can sync up with that and play. That's my life. So not glamorous and definitely nerdy. So happy to meet you all. Can't wait to meet you in person. I love teaching, and I love microbiology, and I love talking. So there's that. Let's see. The course, we have obviously lecture and we have lab. It is really half and half. So not a little bit of lab. If you are Monday, Wednesday, whatever, you probably have a general idea of what to expect because your schedule says MW, but I have found that the Tuesday, Thursday people do not realize that they are Tuesday, Thursday. They just think they're Thursday. So TR on your schedule means Tuesday, T, and Thursday, R. Yes, that's what that means. So you are meeting twice a week. Surprise. Lecture and lab are twice a week. And for most of you, we will have lecture followed immediately by lab. There is one section where you'll have lab followed by lecture, and that's where my night lecture course. We have two sections meeting up kind of in that one lecture, big lecture, broken up in half for the labs. So anyways, that's how that's set up. And then aside from that, they're kind of set up similarly. The lab, which I'll kind of go over here just really quick, is set up in, we'll have a pre-lab that will be due before you come to lab. And that will pop up on Canvas for you as far as like when things are due. So let me show you kind of the assignments thing. So this is going to be set up by due date, upcoming assignments, and then it's like day and time, literally time is on there as well. And that's the day and the time that those things have to be submitted by. Some of the things you can submit late, you will get deduction points if you do happen to submit them late, and you absolutely 100% have to get approval. If you submit something late and you didn't get my approval, I will give you a 0. So it's that sort of stuff. Yeah, get approval. That's all I'm going to say. Then in general, I'm not accepting any makeup work. So late is one thing, but if you are trying to submit something that you weren't there for and you're trying to make it up, there's not going to be any makeup work. The only makeup things that will be available will be exams in certain extreme circumstances only, and only by my permission. So if you do have an exam coming up and you do for the exam have a loved one that has passed, and then it is legitimate, then we might be able to work something out. If you get a flat tire on the way to class, I'm probably not going to be that forgiving. I don't know, just talk to me about these things, right? So I'm pretty reasonable, I'm not going to lie. Don't call me a pushover, but I sometimes can be. So, yeah, so I'm going to work with you guys to get you guys through this. It's not an easy course. It just isn't. So a lot of this stuff is new to people, and people don't know how to study well for conceptually based courses. Usually haven't seen a conceptually based course unless they've been to physiology. So this is usually new. But whatever, you can work through this, is what I'm saying. Stepwise, date, time, everything, it's set up here. So pre-labs before the lab, this will take care of it for you. Pre-lab, for example, it won't let you do the pre-lab here, right? It will kick you out, and then you'll click on it and it will send you to Top Hat, which is where your digital lab notebook is. And I have a fake student that I'm running this through, so it doesn't recognize it. But you would click on that, and then it would take you to your course, and it would have laid out for you days and times that things were due. This date didn't get updated, so I'm going to have to change that, but that's that problem. So exercise 1, we don't have lab until the second week, of course. FYI. So this 22nd for my Monday, Wednesday people, this is my hybrid course. So Monday, Wednesday people, 1 p.m. would be your lab. So you have to have your pre-labs done by then. And it tells you that, and it would tell you that on Canvas as well. And then we will have our in-lab exercise, which will be a worksheet provided to you in lab in a dry erase sheet protector. And you'll write on that with dry erase markers, write your answers there, take a picture of it. And then that is what you'll upload on here as well. So if you click on this, we will see post-lab. And then here is where you will upload your sheet that you filled out in lab, your exercise sheet. Yeah, and then after that, so we have our pre-lab, have to have it before lab, you have to. In lab, upload what you did onto here, and then your actual post-lab quiz, that is on Canvas. So we'll go back to assignments. Let's see. Let's see if we can find it. Lab quiz 1, here it is. So this isn't even available until the first day of lab, because you're not supposed to be taking it until after you've taken the lab. You can't do the lab quiz until you've done the lab. I need you to be doing these in order. So I've kind of restricted that. You'll be able to take your quiz whenever that's available to you. Yeah, it is 5 questions, multiple choice. It is timed 10 minutes, and it is 1 try. It is open book, though. You can use whatever you need to answer the questions. So it shouldn't be too bad. 5 questions. multiple choice. So that's lab. You will also have an unknown project, which sounds like a big deal, but you'll be starting work on it from day one. Like all of the stuff that you're doing in the lab as your exercises give you results for your unknown stuff. So it's doing the work for you already. Don't worry about that too much right now, because when we get closer to it, I'll remind you about it and we'll get into the details of it. Just keep track of your data. I'll remind you of that too. Be sure that you've read your safety stuff and everything before you come to lab, right? Yeah, that's that. And then we'll have the exams for the lab. That is the midterm and the final. That's the only ones we have for the lab. They are both 50 questions, multiple choice, and you'll be at stations, rotating through stations, answering multiple choice questions about whatever the thing is that I put in front of you. So that's how that's going to work. And we'll talk about that when we get closer too. Everything is going to have a review. Most of them will be, I think the labs are, their reviews are going to be done in the lab. The lecture reviews are all going to be done on Zoom. But anyways, let's go to modules. You have to open up your first module in order to get to everything on here. That just involves doing a quiz about the syllabus and your integrity statement saying that you're not going to cheat or whatever. And your lab safety document, you have to open that up. Please do actually read it before you come to lab. There's a video that I made about it as well. A little bit about me and then some study tips, which you may actually need if you think that flashcards or Quizlets are going to get you through this course. They might, but you'll do much better if you actually use some critical thinking type skills for this course. This is not, like I said, a memorization course. This is not like anatomy. This is a conceptual course. Most people haven't had a class like this before. So here's our Zoom link. All of our Zooms will be done on the same link always, forever. It's here and in the modules, it's also in the announcements. You can find it there. And you can click on it and it'll be where we do the reviews. It'll be where we do whatever stuff for my hybrid people, if we want to meet up about stuff, all of that. So it's always on that same link. If you ever like say, oh, we're going to be Zoom review on whatever day or time, that is the link. There's never going to be another one. All right, this is what this is set up like. So we got through this BS. First up, cool. Did it all, ready. Next is unit 1, of course. For unit 1, we have this study sheet. The study sheet and the way that this works is, this is approximately 4 pages for these chapters anyways, of the rundown of things I want you to learn from these chapters. And it might seem like a lot, but I am not asking you to really study hard and say, oh, if I'm going to give you a test on unit 1, these chapters, these 6 chapters, I'm going to test you over anything in the textbook on those chapters. No, this is kind of a gimme. Okay. One of the biggest complaints I had last semester was I didn't tell people what was going to be on the test. Surprise, we don't have to, right? The textbook is it. We can pull from anything, but I don't want to do that either. Easier to just say, these are things I think are important that you should take home from this stuff. That's here on the study sheet. I will not test you on anything else. If you think that this sheet is enough to get you through the test, you're probably wrong. If you can read everything on here and actually understand what is said on here, then you'll be fine. If you see a sentence and you're like, viruses and prions are acellular, and you're like looking at that, we also have it down in 7, I think, but might have more of explanation of some of these. Like prions do not have a genome. They are misfolded proteins. They are proteinaceous infectious particles. They cause spongiform encephalopathies. If you're reading that and you're thinking, okay, right, I'll write that on a flashcard, but you don't know what a spongiform encephalopathy is, or you don't know what I mean by genome, or you don't know what is misfolded versus not misfolded protein, then this is where the lecture comes in. The lecture helps really kind of explain these concepts to the point where they should make sense. What you're looking at on this study sheet should make sense to you if you are listening and participating in the lectures. So that's the idea with the lectures. Lectures prepare you for this information so it makes sense. But nothing else will be tested besides what's on here. I will not go outside of those bounds. I mean that. So you're welcome. Genuinely. Happy to help. All right, so that's your study sheets. That's what you're working off of. All of this stuff is going to prepare you so hopefully you understand that well enough that you can just pull it out of your mind instead of, looking at it on the sheet, right? So that's the study sheet. We have the actual lecture. We'll start with these little pages here. Now, if you're an in-person class, then you will obviously be attending in person. You don't need to worry about these. If you are my hybrid, which this is the hybrid section that I'm showing you, then you'll watch these instead of going to class. Now, you're always welcome to join in via Zoom in our classes, our in-person classes if you want to, hybrid people. Just FYI. Always welcome, or come join in person. Absolutely. Any of them. So you guys will be given the days and times and everything of my traditional classes so that you can, if you would like to, join when you have the time. Right. So there's PowerPoint that goes along with it. PowerPoint usually lines up with the study sheet, okay? I've tried to pare it down so that it doesn't have too much superfluous information. Then we have the activity Kahoot, traditional courses. You guys, if you're in-person class, you guys will not have this link here. You'll be doing this in class, and I'll be giving you these links for like study aids later on in the course before we get to the exams. My online people don't have that luxury of doing this in class, so they have to do it through their own time on their own links. You'll take a picture of whatever the final screen is, or a picture if you're in class. You can take a picture of me standing up by the screen, or you can take an actual literal picture with your phone or camera. I don't know what you're doing with your life, of your computer screen if you want. I don't care. Whatever, screenshots, whatever it is that proves that you took that Kahoot that day. That's what you'll upload onto where it says activity evidence. Then we have a quiz, just like the lab one, multiple choice or true false. This will be 10 questions. It is 15 minutes timed, still open book or whatever, right? You'll do that after the lecture and after you've done your little Kahoot stuff. And then we have the extra credit that's associated with this. Now, lab and lecture both have extra credit. They're different. Each experiment that we have in lab, you can write a summary or outline about it and get extra credit that way. Or in lecture, you can write 5 questions about whatever that chapter was over. They have to be in your own words, and they have to be like short answer. So not like multiple choice, no multiple choice, no true false. And submit those, and you will get extra credit for that. I recommend that you do it. Hint, hint. Yeah. You can get up to 3% extra credit in the course. Your lecture extra credit is 1% of that. Your lab extra credit is the second percent. And the last percent has to deal with like basically your syllabus quiz, your integrity quiz, and your evaluations of the course at the end of the course. And I give extra credit for that. Right, so that's basically how that's going to work, how everything works. We have in the lecture portion, we have the disease presentation, right? So you're going to select, you'll see in the assignments, we'll go over it, but you will sign up for a disease. You'll make a PowerPoint presentation over it. You will be told exactly what needs to be on it, so don't worry. I will grade the slides first, and then later you will be giving the presentation over what you had on your slides. Now, why do I do it that way? Because your presentation in class, in person, even my online people, you will be doing this in lab, okay? Or you can do it in front of my other courses, whatever you like. It's up to you, but you get that luxury. That's replacing my lecture over that disease. So it needs to be accurate. So that's why I grade it first, so you can get the ability to edit it if you want to. So that whenever I'm grading over your presentation, it's actually, correct. Yeah, and then, so that's sort of like the unknown, but for the lecture, right? So unknown thing for the lab and the lecture is this. We have 4 lecture exams, Unit 1, Unit 2, and Unit 3. Unit 1, Unit 2, I know that's just 3. Unit 1, 2, and 3 are not comprehensive. They're over whatever chapters were covered in those units only. The Unit 4, there's a 4th unit, is half Unit 4, half comprehensive final. So 50 questions Unit 4, 50 questions comprehensive final, all in one in the final. So that's the Big Daddy test. Of course, that's worth quite a bit of your grade because you have to show me that you actually learned from this class. If you haven't been able to learn from this class, why should I pass you? So that's the idea. and how this course is meant to work. If you have any questions about any of this, please let me know. I'm very good about answering my email. You can always come by my office as well. I'm happy to see people in my office. We might even set up a study group thing if people are interested in that. It would just be like in the lab, like after class one day, or maybe an hour or something, go over some stuff to help retain it and whatever, and explain it, whatever. That'll make more sense when we get through the genetics chapter that you guys are probably not at all familiar with. So, yeah, when we talk about transcription and translation and all that, ribosomes, and you probably think I'm talking in foreign language. Yeah, cool. I like this course. I hope you do too. I can't wait to meet all of you. The lab is just hella fun. I think you're gonna love it. It smells terrible, but it is cool every day. So hopefully I'll feel better soon. Hopefully I feel better by the time Tuesday rolls around for you, Tuesday, Thursday people. And hopefully the weather shapes up. So yeah, I will see you guys soon. Bye.